If you saw Game 1 or if you like North American meta, you're very familiar with these teams. I'd say the top 2, top 3 up in here. For NA, that's going to be GG, which stands for Gaimin Gladiators. On the top, going to be running as the purple squad, and then Nemesis as the orange squad. I am Dr. Kendo. I bring you Pokemon Unite esports style commentary, the father of the Spectator Mode casting scene. Subscribe if that's your thing. And again, if you're watching Game 1 before this being Game 2, we are going to switch the team's color. So of course, this time we got GG, Gaimin Gladiators, repping the purple. Lutano still answering the Greedent of our trio with a Greedent of his own. And so, we're going to see dueling Squavets right here on the top path. Something we definitely should point out there for Nemesis is we're seeing a little bit more of their traditional team composition, which is actually quite untraditional generally in Pokemon Unite as far as that goes, with Yeetfan running that Decidueye, so currently as that Rowlet, but we also see Rex being the tree Phantom currently. Goof still running the Blastoise. It looks like all of GG have retained which Pokemon they chose for Game 1. And Trainer LGC right now switching from Sword over to our Ninja Frog, so Greninja, but currently as that Frogadier, looking to try to keep Lutano out of base, and our trio also going to put on the pressure right now, so Lutano looking to be in some danger, but will certainly slide his way on out of that as that slippery squirrel. How do you like playing that, Lutano? Out of Lucario jail, at least for a while. And so we'll be looking at just a few seconds for that Combee and Vespiquen to be served up on a silver platter right now. Boom! They will go down very quickly on this bottom path, especially common when you have 6 high-level players right here. They all know what they're doing. They're going to be taking out those bees very fast. Mordecai the Hammer coming down on him. Will not be a KO, but nice, Rex. But we did see KOs happening on the top path. But yes, that is my name for the Hammer, brought down by Rex, and now Yeetfan and Rex combined will go to bring down Zugrug, that tanky Blissey, and it was just before the Hyperspace Hole could actually bring Blissey back to base, so very clutch, I would say, with that KO. Next thing we probably all know to be looking for, of course, is going to be that 720 Combee and Vespiquen, but you're also looking for the Audino in the meantime, and there's sort of a mini Dreadnought of an Audino there on the bottom path that's going to be sort of in the top center of that bottom path, and again, we like to consider that a mini Dreadnought, though when you think about the most recent patch, the update to this game, XP workarounds just a little bit different, but we can see that the Hyperspace Hole's bringing back our bottom path players here for Nemesis. They are back to try to bring this challenge, but that was a pretty nice 13, kind of sneaky from Goof. Let's see if he's going to actually lose his life because of that, and the Hyperspace Hole was down, but that's a moment, probably the best choice from Goof, and will be brought down by the Mordecai. That Mordecai is a wandering hammer. It's going to come down straight upon the head. If you are just, if you're caught like in a bad neighborhood, maybe, but people are probably right now saying, what the hell is he talking about? It's my own terminology, okay? But like we say, Goof might have actually had the better of the options, but still did fall right around the goal, but the better of the options not to wait on the Hyperspace Hole. So now our trio trying to just make something happen here on the top path, but having to defend not only against Lutano, but also Toon. I mean, you've got a Sword here, stabbing at the backside, but Lutano as that large, thick squirrel going to be belching in your front, so looking pretty painful, and that will result in our trio being KO'd. So once she's brought down, that means that top path, it was sort of ripe for the scoring, right? Also missing the Combee and Vespiquen, so it's got to feel a little bit painful with our trio, and I think we all know how good she is. If you don't know, basically, she's essentially, I'm going to say my goddess. I mean, I love that player. Certainly have caster's bias, but let me tell you that the caster's bias pretty much thrown aside, like I said in Game 1, because I love both of these teams and I love all these players. Did you see the clutch Spirit Shackle coming in from Yeetfan? That will secure Dreadnought right now for Nemesis, who needs some kind of pick-me-up. When you look at the levels, that will now bring them back much more even, but also when you're looking at a score like this, you have high-level players. It is a very close game, and definitely for about this 6:30 mark on the clock, that's looking real good. I hope that this shapes up to be super close. Time will tell as we cast this live, ladies and gentlemen. Aeos Cup money is on the line, actually, for whichever team is going to win the finals of this tourney, but right here, this is just Game 1 of NA. Trainer LGC maybe going to take this Hyperspace Hole, doesn't really need it, okay, so no, that's good. Go ahead and stay here, aid in the fight, because we will be looking at more experience battles and things like that, but we've got pretty much both teams with all hands on deck. Sans Toon for Gaimin Gladiators there in the purple. That's the Aegislash. He's going to be back in Nemesis's area for the top path and near that T2 goal right now, and so he's going to be taking a lot of that wild farm. I'm sure this would be something that Nemesis would want if they weren't having to deal with something else. You know, there was a priority at least to score on that bottom path goal, which they did, and now you can see obviously they're possibly making moves up towards that. You're going to see that they maybe will discover that their wild Pokemon are gone up there really near that top path T2 goal, but also we might be looking at a fight for Rotom, so the next few minutes will tell and be indicative of a guess, and that's going to be a Spirit Shackle from really afar. Will bring Goof down to just below half HP. Looking deadly. Nice job, Yeetfan, but Goof able to go back to the Citrus and rely on those. Gonna keep him in this fight, keep him close by, of course, too, because Toon can see everything that's going on right now. Our trio gonna engage with the Sword, and so Aegislash definitely going to have his hands full, but going to be joined by Lutano down there, kind of at the bottom of this top path. Yeet Fan from afar. Going to go with that Spirit Shackle. No, will not release, so let's do the Shadow Sneak first. Hit up Tune with that, and then maybe release that Spirit Shackle, but also maybe look for that moment that you can hit the Rotom too, so you can see why he's holding back and now being sent on the run. And so Gaimin Gladiators just not even making that release an option. And so now with a score of 130 to 123, it obviously looks close, but this is getting set up for Gaimin Gladiators late game and really that final stretch. I mean, Gaimin Gladiators doesn't want to lead us up to a zap play, of course, so you get the levels, you try to get some of these objectives, make the score just a lot wider of a score gap if you can. So it might be that they're looking for those things, but we do have to see what the overall strategy is, because Gaimin Gladiators, even when they're winning and they know it, sometimes they're the squad to just kind of pull off that move that seems like normally it would be like a last-ditch effort. No, you see Zugra go ahead and take down Trainer LGC, that Greninja. Yeet Fan and Archryu will try to stop this Rotom. Not looking for that touchdown, of course. Don't want GG to widen that score gap as I was talking about, so they will bring this down. Lutano, though, will meanwhile go ahead and take all those bees out, and while everybody's teleporting back out of here, that leaves an open goal for Lutano. That's going to be a nice 31 right now from Greedent Lutano. We can see Asnapple threw down the Rings Unbound, and that's where everybody went, so they used the portal from that to go ahead and head for Dreadnought. Likely to take this unless somebody from GG can come in with the snipe, and it did not look like it. Obviously, you know, you could think about Zugrug trying to egg bomb grenade this or something of the like, but definitely wouldn't have been easy. Lutano right now just barely gonna get that 14 before being interrupted by Trainer LGC. Wonderful Greninja player, but right now Lutano is just saying, hey, I don't even mind it. Gonna covet right on out of there. Yeet looking for some of this experience. We should say, though, Yeet Fan not only picking Decidueye this time, also running with an Aeos Cookie, and that attack weight, for me, certainly interesting decisions from a Decidueye. This is looking bad, too, because Lutano knows, hey, if you got Yeet Fan lurking around in the area, man, the belches are too powerful. Lutano, wonderful job, because I think Lutano saw exactly what the problem would have been if that Yeet Fan would be poking at you from afar while you're dealing with Archryu's Greedent more in your face. Not an easy combo to deal with, so certainly Lutano said, hey, I'm going to take out the long range, and with that Greedent, it's nice because you can covet to do something like that. Even with the nerfs to covet and everything, still good for that purpose, to just sort of get in, take out some kind of objective, or some person maybe in this case, and then get on out. Gaimin Gladiators will see we are in the lead. They don't know about how much or how little this lead is exactly, but if you know your alerts, the color, the sayings, and everything, you'll get a decent picture of it. Gaimin Gladiators never wants to rest easy, though, here, especially when a big tourney like this, you got the money on the line, you got a skirmish from both sides, really very close to that Rotom right now, so maybe we'll see if somebody's going to go for that Rotom, but it would be about a 30-something second window here. They are going to start it now. That's Gaimin Gladiators. Many of them actually teleporting back with the hyperspace hole. Looks like Nemesis had the opportunity to do the same, but Indy sent on the run after that. Indy Bear still in this game, though, still can deploy the hyperspace, and so you won't be looking at another Dreadnought in this matchup because, of course, that timer with 21 seconds on it on the mini-map, you can tell that that's more time than it's going to take for Zapdos, so Gaimin Gladiators, they are prepared, man, for that final stretch, which will be coming in just about 10 seconds now. Nemesis gonna have to pull off something here. I mean, you have to deal with Rotom on the top path, and now that's just actually left it for Lutano because it has touched down. We can get a look at that on the mini-map, but right now we want to see where's GG gonna be positioning, because in game one, their positioning was so really well done, really, to hold off that Zapdos play, and that's obviously what Nemesis is gonna want in something like this, where it's been really hard to score against GG, especially with your full pockets. It's gonna take a lot longer, be a lot harder, and so the strategy here is gonna be really difficult because you're gonna need lots of those scores. You can't really rely on just one person dropping in the hundo, and that's gotta be with GG scoring nothing, so you gotta stop the Gaimin Gladiators while also making an assault of your own. So if you can make that push, Nemesis, you gotta do something, you know, you gotta pull this out, and time is just a ticking faster than you would think. We are past the 1:30 left on the clock, and Archryu will go ahead, use the hyperspace, teleport back, hopefully come back in really quickly, unless she chooses to jump pad instead. Will not actually teleport back. Might have been a little bit too precarious, so we'll just run the path, but this is looking so deadly now. You can see GG what they're doing. That's just gonna solidify things a lot more for Gaimin Gladiators. This is not looking good if you're Nemesis. This is where that team fight's gonna take place, it looks like, and when we say that team fight, we mean the one where all the Unite moves start flying. We have a huge lead is what Gaimin Gladiators are gonna see, but notice the Berry Belly Flops, the Coup de Grace, you got those Unite moves popping. Nemesis tried to answer it with some of theirs too, but look at that. There's gonna be that last one and kind of that last ditch, which is the Water Burst Shuriken, and so right now Trainer LGC somewhat sent on the run, but also trying to stave them off, so it's like we know that we have this bottom goal right here that GG's hanging around. We don't want that, but we only have about 37 seconds, it looks like, and so it's gonna be very, very difficult. I mean, you would have to burst down Zapdos, which does not look possible. Just look at that positioning from Gaimin Gladiators. This is a masterful display. I mean, mean, I have been the one to coin that this team is basically a symphony. They all know how to play their instrument, and they all know their position so well. It's just like mastered what each one of their roles is. It's just insane. So Nemesis is trying. I mean, definitely give them some credit right here, but look, we're at that 10 seconds. I don't even think, yeah, they can't really burst this down and score. It would have had to been done by now. So I think we are going to declare our winners and who's going to be moving on in the Aeos Cup right here in Game 1. Yes, that is going to go to Gaimin Gladiators. Congratulations to GG Gaimin Gladiators. Are you not entertained and all that? The score breakdown is in, and we have 363 for that final score against 123 to Nemesis. Nemesis is such a solid team. I mean, often you would say, like, if there's a team to do really good against GG, it probably would have been them. But look at what happened here. I mean, Gaimin Gladiators have come to the tourney to show we are back in this after having a few shaky displays, maybe somewhat recent to the time of this recording, but they are back on top with that display here today. Please click an end screen to see another one, and thanks for viewing.